Now let's take a look at how we would display some graphical information with your Arduino prototype. You can see in this example I have a clock right here, and it's a one-color graphical display. Unlike a character display, this is one large, think of it as graph paper, one large array of pixels, and you can control that through a library. This library actually happens to have a clock. It also has some nice menu features that you can scroll through, so very, very handy. But today I'm going to show you something that's really cool, and that's this one right here. This is a TFT display, not necessarily an LCD, but a TFT, and this has really good clarity and really good colors. And you can see I have a demo running through it right now. If I hit reset, you'll actually see a lot more example code running here. So there's all your colors. It shows you how fast it can go. It's going to scroll through and show you some of the small text it can do, run some of these interesting little graphics. And what's really cool about this display, besides it having so many colors and working so well, is that you can control it through the 8-bit method, which is what I have here, which will draw graphics very fast. But if I were to unplug this, show you the back, there's an SD card, so I could load up images and I can display the images. And also, if you look at the screen, you can see a little cable coming off the front. And the reason that's there is this is also a touch screen. So if you wanted to create an interface where you could press buttons and control your Arduino or control something else through the screen, you can do that. It's a really nice display. Now there's a couple of things you need to know about when working with displays like this TFT screen. Reset it, hopefully it fires back up. And that is, you need libraries, and then this particular one, you need to adjust one particular line of code, which is not the traditional way that we would edit code. So let's go over how you would do that. Here is the how-to. There's some soldering of pins. You scroll through, and I'm running it in 8-bit mode, and it shows you how to power them all up. And if I scroll down, here's the library. So if I download that library, it's a zip file, and just like every other library, I can put it on my desktop and I can install it through Arduino. Load that up. And I've already installed this, but I'll show you very quickly how to do it. And you go into Include Library, Add Zip Library, and select that library to install. The other one you would need is the GFX library. And if you go into the Library Manager and search for GFX, you can see it comes up, and mine's also been installed. If it's not installed, you can click Install right here. And once you do that, you will get these examples down here, TFT LCD, and I'm running the graphic test right here, and there's my code. So as we look at the code, here's where it gets a little tricky. Normally you would edit your code within the Arduino IDE and your sketch. And in this case, I actually have to modify some of the dependencies of the library, and I want to show you how to do that. And to do that, I'm looking for the TFT LCD.h file, and that's found in your library folder. Your library folder is typically found in your Documents and Arduino, and then Libraries, and I can see it's right here. And to edit a .h file, I have mine set to default open in Text Wrangler, but you can open it in any text editor. It just needs to be edited in plain text. I like Text Wrangler because it automatically changes some of the lines of code to colors for me, helps manage it a little bit easier. And you can see even in this file, this .h file, it says, see comments at line 15. Well, at line 15, there's not a whole lot, but guess what? At line 17 and 18, there's really interesting information. And basically what it's telling you to do is if you're using a shield, you need to uncomment that line, delete the 2//. If you're not using the shield, you need them to be commented out. Mine was already commented out because I went in and made that adjustment. So I'm not going to save that. But that is how you edit one of the dependencies of the library. It's kind of an interesting look at how libraries work. You have the Arduino sketch, but when it needs code, it can grab those .h file codes. You don't worry about it 99.9% of the time. You don't worry about what that's doing. All you care about is the simple sketch where you can change to get your screen or whatever you're working with in Arduino to do the things you want it to do. Now there's a lot of code here. I'm not going to go over it. It's very well commented out. And what's nice about this code is it shows you how to draw lines, how to draw circles, how to draw text, change colors. So if you just sit there and go through that one by one, you're going to figure it out pretty quickly. And hopefully you can see, although there are a lot of wires to hook up and you have a tricky little .h file library to edit there, the end result is actually pretty cool. And it's something I think anyone should have in their prototyping toolbox because of the touchscreen, the SD card, the different ways you can hook it up, and more importantly, the beautiful graphics it can display.